Wish he'd wake up again. I just want to hear his voice.
I know.
It's the waiting that's so hard. Only I'd been here the other night when he woke up and talked to you instead of being asleep.
No, it's all right. He just woke up for a minute. And all he said was enough to ask about you.
Always thinking how I am and worrying about me. If anything happens to him, Joe, I don't know what I'm going to do. Who would there be to take care of me the way he did?
We're not going to lose him. No, we've got to keep the faith. We've got to.
I'm doing my best, Joe.
But if anything does happen to him, if my old man doesn't make it, I'll tell you this much. Frank Smith's going to pay for it.
That's a man's job.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Startle me? I think you just scared me to death.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't know what to do not to frighten you.
Well, I suppose if you're going to come upon someone from behind in the dark, there's very little you can do. What brings you around here?
Well, I came by to bring you the check for the Paddy Kelly Hospital Fund that you were soliciting for this morning.
Oh, well, that's very sweet of you, but you didn't have to make a special trip.
A special donation calls for a special trip.
Well, but I could have come and gotten it at your office, or you could have mailed it to the hospital.
Oh, that's not the same at all. I welcome any opportunity to say hello to you in person, Lesley.
Even when I react like that, huh? Actually, I probably scared you as much as you scared me.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm concerned about how careless you are with your personal safety.
Careless in what way?
Well, anyone at all could have been lurking here in the shadows, couldn't they?
I suppose they could have. But I've lived here for quite a while now, and no one has ever lurked before, so I suppose one has to go with the percentages sometime.
I think there's entirely too much violence abroad these days for anyone to take a cavalier attitude toward danger.
I assure you, I really am rather careful.
Are you alone in the house?
I am for a while this evening, yes.
In that case, could I come in for a few minutes?
Maybe it was only a wild animal.
No, that was a human sound.
How can you be so sure?
Shh. Listen.
I don't hear anything.
I know. It's too quiet.
What are we going to do?
I'm going out there. You stay here.
No.
I said stay here. Stay here.
What are you going to do?
Just a little exploring. Find out who that or what that is.
Luke.
Yeah.
Be careful, please. Just...
Look, do I look like somebody who's going to take a chance, huh? Look at this. Go out arms, baby.
Nothing to worry about. I checked out the entire house. Every room is secure. All the doors and windows are locked. You don't have to feel nervous about being alone here.
Well, thank you. I'm really not nervous, although I'm very grateful for your concern. I'm used to being alone.
Oh, that makes me feel better than about leaving you here by yourself.
Well, after you've been so kind, I think it would be very rude of me to let you go without at least offering you a drink.
Well, if I'm not disturbing your schedule, I'd be happy to have a drink. Shall I fix it for you?
If you'd like.
Oh, what would you like to have?
No, I'm nothing for me, thank you. And I'd be glad to do this for you.
Oh, no. You should be waited on by men, not the other way around. I think I'll have some of your scotch. You have some very good scotch here. Oh, before I forget what I came for, I better give you this.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that certainly is generous, Frank.
Well, if you share your concern about Paddy Kelly's welfare.
I'm sure that this will be a great help to him and to his family.
Also, I think it's our duty to help those who are not as fortunate as we are.
Yes, I always think it's nice if we can.
Lesley, I feel confident enough about our new friendship to tell you something that nobody in Port Charles knows or suspects. It has to do with Luke Spencer.
What's that?
When Laura ran away with Luke, I began to find out things that were very disturbing about him.
Really?
Things that I would have hated to find out after he'd become my son-in-law. It's almost enough to make you believe in divine providence.
What kind of things, Frank?
Well, there was a lot going with that young man before his disappearance. He was apparently involved with a lot of girls.
Hutch! You wanna stop laughing and get me down from here, man?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like you like this.
Yeah,
Man, hey, this is great. I didn't think this would
You're
work.
a real funny guy, man. Come on, cut me down.
Don't like that, huh?
Cut
No
me
humor
down.
when you're upside
Hey.
down. I understand, but I didn't think it was going to work, man. It
Gee.
worked. I can't believe it.
You can't believe it. I don't. Yeah, it worked real good.
Hey, don't you call me no city slicker anymore, Jack. I am a jungle slicker. Do you mind?
Oh, dude, it broke my neck.
Oh, yeah, what a shame. Hey, I'm sorry about that.
Well, this is a hell of a way to greet somebody.
Well, I'm sorry, but it wasn't meant for you, okay?
Oh, God.
It worked! Set the table, we caught dinner. And don't tell me anymore that Tarzan movies are not educational, because the sucker worked.
It was you in the trap?
Yeah, I was in it.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's really wonderful. We caught him.
That's right.
Yeah, you'd have thought it was real wonderful if you were swinging upside down for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, how come you didn't yell out?
Well, I knew you guys were in there. I figured the least I could do is let you sweat a little bit and wonder what you caught.
You did it. We heard it, you know, but we didn't know what we caught.
So what, are we friends or what?
Hey, it's all right with me.
Okay. That really was some trap, man.
Wasn't it?
I gotta believe it.
Yeah, look, I think, okay, I think we better hold it down, all right?
What? What's the matter?
Well, I just think after what happened in the barn, maybe we should, you know, be quiet and be careful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, so we'll have a good laugh inside, all right? Come on in. I mean, the guy who tried to kill us at Whitaker's, he may be after us. So let's,
Come on, Hutch.
What were you doing?
Oh, I reset the snare, man. After how well it worked, I'm going to keep that thing with me the rest of my life.
Yeah. You know, Hutch, we do have some food if you're hungry.
Well, right now I could eat just about anything. Thank you.
Well, all right, let's go. I'll move the table down, pull up another little box, and we'll chow down. Excuse me, darling.
Can I help?
No, that's all right. I got it. You the guest. Sit down. So, tell me, how did you find us? I thought we were being real careful.
It's like I was telling you, man. You're like a city slicker through and through. You left enough tracks in that mud, anybody could have followed you.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
And don't worry about it, though. I backtracked and I covered him up, and I even made sure I didn't leave any myself, so...
So what, you think we're safe, right?
I think for the time being, probably so.
Uh-huh. Well, at best, it's going to last the night. And that's all, and maybe not even that long.
He's been cheering me up like this all day.
I think you better pay attention. He's probably right.
I think
Tell
I'm
me
gonna
what-
ditch both of you.
Yeah? Okay, tell me what happened when we left the barn. What did you do with this blood?
All right. I tied him up real tight, and I carried him about a mile from Whitaker's farm. Left him in a field there.
I love it. You know, but, I mean, in this amount of time, he could have, I don't know, yelled for help or something. Did you tell anybody where you were going, or that you were going to join us?
Oh, man, don't worry about that. No, I didn't tell anybody.
We have to worry about that.
When are the two of you going to trust me enough to let me know what's going on?
Right now.
Lucy?
Look, we're gonna need help desperately when we get to Fair Oaks. Can't we level with him now, all the way?
Drink one Scotch rocks. Nothing for you, Susan?
No, not Toby. Okay, what's up?
Oh, it's old Frank. He got to me.
What now?
Well, it turns out I got to go back to Albany, start to work again.
Well, nobody can vacation forever.
You haven't heard the half of it. You see, Frank has told me how to vote on every single bill that's going to come up before the next state legislative session. I mean, I won't even be able to vote according to my conscience. Nothing.
When did he tell you all this?
Today.
What'd you say to him?
Oh, I said, thank you. Thank you for the advice.
That's what I like, a man of principle.
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to make me feel worse than I already do? Thank you.
It's not enough to feel bad about it, Mitch. I'd like to know if you're going to stand still for it.
Okay. Tell Tell me this. If you just chucked everything, if you threw in the towel here in Port Charles, you came away with me, I could get out of the pocket of the organization, maybe.
No, Mitch. Now, you can't throw that all on my shoulders. That's not fair.
No, not fair, not fair. It's fair because I love you. I love you.
No, it isn't fair. First of all, you're not in a position to love anyone, even if you could. And besides, it's too late to escape that way. You know that. You took money from Frank. You let him give you money. And you've got to repay it one way or another. Why do you think I returned the jewelry you gave me? Because I don't want to be owned by anyone. If I go away with you, I'll be owned again.
No, you won't be owned. You'll be held in trust.
That's some alternative you're offering me, all right? Live with you in sin? And a considerable degree of dissension? No, thank you. I think I'll take my chances on my own. Excuse me, I have to get back to work.
Please, no, just stay a minute. Just talk.
I've already stayed too long, Mitch, and I'm talking years, not minutes.
Looks like it's all gone. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Could I have 3 or 4 more of these, please?
Lesley, I shouldn't have told you about Luke Spencer and his women. I've upset you.
Upset me? Yes. Unfortunately, you haven't surprised me.
Would you care to explain that to me?
Oh, Frank, my daughter has a way of choosing men who always seem to have a very, very shady past and a very, very questionable future. I swear she attracts them like a magnet.
Do you include Scotty Baldwin in that?
Oh, no, of course not. Scotty's the most decent young man she was ever involved with, and she married him, but then you have to look at what she did to him later.
Wasn't a very happy dissolution to their marriage, was it?
Frank, I am such a failure as a mother.
I'm sure it must have been an enormous disappointment for you.
And when I think on top of everything else that she did, that she almost destroyed your poor daughter, it just kills me. $0.10. Frank, this is really going to be an imposition after everything you've done this evening, but I need desperately to have someone to talk to. Could I ask you just to stay a little while longer and sit and talk with me?
Well, of course.
Thank you. I'm sure that you must have read in the papers all about what happened at the time of the David Hamilton thing, about what I did to protect Laura.
Yes, I remember very clearly.
Now, I'm not saying that I deserve any special commendation. I think it's natural for any parent to want to protect a child. But the point is that after that, Laura and I talked, and she promised me she was never again going to get involved with anybody, any man, without letting me know who it was. There weren't going to be those kinds of secrets between us.
You had no inkling of her feelings for Luke?
Nothing. Nothing, not one word. I'm not sure that I could have stopped anything if I had known, but don't you see, it was such a betrayal of everything that she promised me. It was a betrayal of her husband, and what she did to that poor innocent child, your daughter. I wind up feeling responsible for what happened to Jennifer.
No, you don't have to. After all, it was none of your doing.
Well, if there's anything at all that you can think of that I can do now or any time in the future that would help at all to make up for what they did to her, I wish you'd tell me.
I'm very touched by your offer, Lesley, very touched.
I mean it, Frank.
I'm a little reluctant to talk about my daughter at any length right now. It's out of fear that harm might come to her, not just physically, but emotionally.
Oh, do you think that if he knew where she was, that Luke would try and get in touch with her?
I wouldn't be surprised. Luke has been very disloyal to me, and if he thought he could hurt me through Jennifer, I think he would.
Well, I can certainly understand your wanting her protected then. I think you're very lucky you have a close relative who can take care of her right now.
Yes, I hope Jennifer and her aunt will grow close.
Yes, and at least it's lovely in Europe at this time of year.
Europe?
Oh, was it England? I don't remember what the girls said.
What girls, Lesley?
I don't know, Claudia, Beverly, one of the little group. They were talking after Luke and Laura ran away, and I overheard them saying that you were going to send her, I thought, off to Europe to help her forget.
Oh, yes.
But was it England?
No, it wasn't. But right now I'm more interested in knowing where Laura is. Have you found out anything at all? I think she's a girl who needs very much to be protected from Luke.
I agree with you. No.
Did Captain Ramsey, was he able to give you any leads?
Nothing. Nothing. They know nothing. It is so frustrating. And I don't understand her. She could call me. You know, she doesn't have to tell me where she is. She can let me hear her voice, let me know that she's safe.
Well, if you happen to hear from her, I hope you'll let me know.
I will. In fact, I'll probably just come back and impose on you once more because I'm beginning to feel that someone like you who at least cares and has the kind of connections that you do will do more to help me than the police seem to be willing to do.
I assure you I'm entirely at your disposal, dear lady. Whatever I can do, I'll do with the greatest of pleasure.
I don't know how to say thank you, except thank you. It's not easy to be a woman alone.
Yes, I can understand that. I'm so glad we had this talk together. I enjoyed it more than I can tell you. And I hope to see you again soon.
So do I. You don't know how good it feels to suddenly have a strong man to lean on again. I do thank you with all my heart.
Good night, Lesley.
Night.
Well, I'm waiting, buddy. Am I gonna get glued in or what?
Hutch can't help us if we keep him in the dark.
3 heads are better than 2 at figuring things out.
That depends on the heads, pal. All right.
Good.
Whoa. You're pretty as a blonde, too, Lucy.
Yeah, well, her name isn't Lucy. Her name is Laura, and I'm Luke. We come from Port Charles. I used to work for a guy there named Frank Smith. He's very high up the ladder on the criminal thing there.
And Luke was supposed to marry his daughter.
Yeah, well, let's don't get into the grisly details, okay, darling? The point is, I didn't marry his daughter, I skipped. Now, I wanted to do that for a long time, and Laura helped me. Smith is a dangerous man. I know that. I know it very well. So I took some leverage with me. I took a book, a very important book that he has. It has information on all syndicate operations in Port Charles and around the world.
Whoa. Huh. Yeah. No wonder they're after you.
That's right. The problem is the book's in code. Now, I haven't been able to break the code yet, but that's what we want to do. We want to break the code of the book. We want to take it to the cops. We want to bust Frank Smith.
Why didn't you go straight to the police?
Man, I can't trust the police. I can't trust the police. I can't trust anybody. He's got informants everywhere. He's got informants in the police department in Port Charles. If we had taken that book to Port Charles Police Department, we would have been iced immediately.
Tell him about the left-handed boy.
I'm sorry, who?
The left-handed boy.
Yeah, look, the key to this thing is somebody they call the left-handed boy. Now, we think that he's in Fair Oaks. We think if we can find him, he's going to break the code of the book.
Now, what do you know about this guy?
Just the name. That's it.
What makes you think he's in Fair Oaks?
Well, as part of his daughter's dowry, Frank Smith was deeding to me a building in Fair Oaks. Now, in the book, there are 2 notations that are not in code, only 2. And they are left-handed boy, 150 miles.
And Fair Oaks is 150 miles from Port Charles.
I see.
That's it. That's where we stand. And that's where we're headed.
Now, what are you going to do when you get to Fair Oaks? I mean, how are you going to find him?
I don't know. I don't know. Look, like I said, it's one step at a time. But that's where you can help us. We're going to need a front when we get to Fair Oaks.
What do you mean?
First thing in the morning, we need to rent a van. It's the first thing we need to do, and I'm afraid that I can't risk either one of us doing it, you know? I mean, we could be recognized.
Yeah, you probably would be.
Yeah, well, we thought if we had a van, it might be a good cover. Besides, we just can't ride the buses anymore. Hutch, can you help us?
Well, I'm in this thing all the way now. You bet I will.
Thank you.
Gosh, I only wish that you told me some of this stuff sooner. It might have been a bigger help to you. Well, better late than never, as they say.
Yes. I'm just glad that we caught you in Luke's trap instead of that man who wants to kill us.
Yeah, listen, you know, you know this already. But this can be dangerous.
It's okay. I'm in all the way.
Oh, you're both here.
Oh, Paddy, darling.
Hello, sweetheart. How you feeling, Pop? Tell you the truth, I don't feel much of anything. Well, you look a little bit stronger than the last time, when you woke up. When was that? I don't remember. Well, it wasn't too long ago. Anyhow, it's not important. Pop, do you feel up talking to the police? They'd like to get a statement from you about what happened. I guess I could do that, sure.
I don't want him taxing his strength.
Oh, come on now. I'm fine.
Joe, will you step outside with me for a minute? I want to talk to you.
Sure. Be right back, Pop.
I just want to ask Joe a question.
Yeah, don't be too hard on him, Rosie.
I love you.
I love you, too.
I'm glad you're awake now. And we won't be long, I promise.
All right.
Well, I see your dad's finally awake.
Yeah, he seems to be a little bit stronger. At least I hope he is.
Oh, good. Diana, I don't want anyone to see my husband without my permission. And only my permission. Is that understood?
Of course, Rose.
Good. Come on, Joe.